Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to 2021. In today's episode, we are going to take you to our first install of the year, a big one down at the Gold Coast. We've got one new team member and one returning team member, and we take a look at some interesting answers to a survey we sent out to agents and home stagers, something you are definitely going to want to stick around for. So welcome back to Foxy TV. Let's kick things off with our very first install of the year.
Side table, I'm undecided about that. She did ask if we can move this.
Hey Phoebes, so where are we this morning? So the first install of the year?
Madre Bar, down the coast.
Yep.
And nice big, the living areas are huge and it's a 4-bedroom home, so nice place to start off the year. Fresh coat of paint.
Yeah, and this carpet looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
What do you have to think about when you're working with carpet like this?
So throughout the rest of the house, it's not the same. Throughout the rest of the house, it's a neutral light top.
Yep.
In here, we've got this more of a feature and doesn't continue into the master bedroom either. It's just this space. So this is sort of set the tone for the styling, for the theme that we've gone with. It's more of a colonial feel. It's not a modern feel at all. You can't go contemporary in this space. It doesn't work with that carpet. So the other thing is also, we can't bring any other colour palette. You can't clash with that carpet. It's got greens, it's got pinks, browns. If you bring in another colour palette, or even if you try to work with that colour, for example, the dining table actually had pink velvet dining chairs, but we've taken those out. It's too much, it'll be too much to look at. So we're bringing in very neutral fabrics. We've gone for more plush textures, feather filled cushions. It's going to feel very grand, but that works in alongside the chandeliers, everything, but it's more colonial, traditional styling, not contemporary.
Back to the warehouse where I caught up with Cassie, who has returned from maternity leave, and also with Anita, who is new to the team. Cassie, welcome back.
Hi.
How was your time away?
Awkward as ever.
You're now a mother, congratulations.
Thank you.
So how many days a week will you be back?
2 days a week for the first couple of months,
yeah.
And then I'll be 3 days a week for the next half of the year.
Monday, Tuesday, you'll see Cass.
Mm-hmm.
And we already put you to work straight away yesterday, first day back, big install.
Straight into it.
Straight drive down the coast.
Yep.
And then Cass did install herself for today. So dust off those cobwebs.
Yep, it's all come back.
Well, Anita, welcome to the team. Welcome to Foxy. This is your first week, and you're here on in a full-time capacity.
Yes.
And what will your role be?
Property styling.
Yeah. So what does that entail? I suppose we'll see you around the warehouse a lot.
Yes, you will. At the moment, I will be following the lead stylists around and learning everything, how to do everything, and then on my own.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. And how you found the first? What are we in? 2.5 days. All right.
Hot.
Yeah.
Extremely hot.
You'll get used to that.
Yes.
I suppose. So, what is your background? Have you been in the interior design space or world?
I worked for Freedom.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Sales consulting and also styling.
So where did you grow up? In Brisbane?
Yes.
Yeah. Born and raised.
Yes.
Lovely.
Haven't moved.
Lovely.
South side all the way.
Yeah. Oh, cool. You know the area pretty well.
Yes. This side, not the north side.
Oh, you get to know it pretty quickly.
I know. Even just from today's driving was enough.
Yeah. And last question I had was, what's your favourite? We'll start with, what's your favourite TV show? Or maybe one that you're watching. Are you watching anything right now?
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld? Yeah, that's a good answer.
That's a go-to. Love that all the time.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good
we're
answer.
watching at the moment.
Yeah.
Equinox.
Okay, never heard of it.
Yeah.
And have you got a favourite movie?
Oh, 300.
Oh, the Gladiator one.
Yes.
The
Yeah, I love that.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
I used to love that movie.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the team, and
Thank you.
yeah. For the remainder of the episode, we are going to catch up with Jake to discuss today's main topic, the most important aspect to home stages according to agents.
So at the end of last year, 2020, we sent out a quick survey, like a 2-minute survey to most of the agents that we did the most work for. In fact, I think most of the agents we did any work for throughout the year, just to kind of get a feel for where they think our strengths are, where there might be some room for improvement, that sort of thing. So it was more of a gain feedback for us to look forward into 2021. One of the questions that we asked, which I'm going to kind of talk about because I thought it was really interesting, was what is the most important aspect of what we as a stylist do for our agents? And we gave them, I've got here 6 options, and they had to pick one. So it was saying that, you know, all or at least most of these are probably important, but which one is the most important factor in them choosing us as a stager? So the options were price, quality, consistency and reliability, speed, communication, and flexibility. And I'm going to talk through some of the results in a minute, but separate to this, or after we got some of these results, I thought it would be really interesting to find out what, from the other side of the fence, what stages other staging businesses think is most important, and then compare the two. And so I put it up in a group that I'm a part of just to kind of get a feel for how other people are thinking. And so I'm going to touch on a couple of the main differences, because I think there's some areas where we're quite consistent between what the agents think is important and what the stagers do, but there's a couple that are different, and one in particular I thought was really interesting and worth highlighting. So the first one, and this is probably a bit of a caveat or an asterisk, is that the agents who are voting on this are the ones that use us, so there's probably a little bit of a lean towards the things that they think we're good at. So one of the things that was quite high on the list was the speed. This was actually the second highest voted for option from the agent's point of view, was that speed is the most important aspect. Whereas from a stylist point of view, it was right at the bottom. It was one of the lowest options that was voted for. So I guess that's something that from our point of view, I think that makes sense, because we really focus on being fast and efficient. And it's one of our main strengths compared to, or what we believe is one of our main strengths compared to our competitors and other stages out there. So the agents that use us recognise that, and that's why it's probably high on this list. Consistency and reliability was by far the most voted for option from the stylists in terms of what they believe is the most important aspect. It was very high as well on the agent side of things, and I think that makes sense. Obviously, being consistent and reliable over time and over the number of jobs you're doing is an important aspect of building that relationship with an agent and continuing to deliver value. So that made sense to me. The biggest one though, which is the one that I want to kind of focus on, is communication. So this one from the stylist's response was down in about 4th out of those options. Only 5% of the stages picked this one as the most important factor. From the agent point of view, it was the most voted for option. It was a little over 30% picked communication as the most important factor. And I thought it's a really important point to highlight, because remembering the other options that were on the list in the survey, all of them are important. Price, quality, consistency, reliability, speed, all those things are important. But this was the most important factor for nearly 1/3 of the agents that voted, communication. And I kind of look at communication as communicating with the agent and communicating with the client, the seller, and from time to time other kind of trades or whoever else is involved. So and I will also say probably why this is also high is because it's something that we really focus on as a business. So again, we're leaning towards factors that we, or the agents who work with us, think is important. But it was interesting that it was so high on the agent side but low on the stylist side. And I think it's worth remembering that communication is a huge part of making it easy for the people who we're working with, so the clients and the agents. So some agents want to know everything and be involved and just, you know, want over communication to know where we're at and when things are going to be happening when they're finished. Others just want to know that you're communicating with the client and you're taking care of everything. So they just want to put us in touch with the client, make sure it's all okay, and then they don't want to hear from us unless there's an issue or there's something they need to know. So it's different for every relationship, but yeah, I think it's just a really interesting result, I guess, not only that the agents find that most important, I thought that was interesting in itself, but then on the other side that a lot of stages don't see the importance of it, not that they don't see the importance of it, but don't see how important it is compared to some of those other factors. And so we focus on it, as I say, a lot already, and it's something that going forward we're going to be really doubling down on.
And that's it for the first Foxy TV episode of the year. If you're back at work, I hope the first week has been a good one, and if you're still on holidays, I hope you're having a great time. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next week.